A digital mixer, audio interface, and portable multi-track recorder all in one. Zoom calls this the ultimate board for creators, and that includes podcasters, singer-songwriters, bands, and also voice-over artists. So the L8 is essentially an 8-track channel mixer where you have 6 combo jacks here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which accepts a microphone or line input, and we have 2 TS inputs here, which are stereo. Now, the Zoom LiveTrak L-8 is commonly advertised as a 12-track recorder, but actually you can only record up to 10 inputs, that is your 6 combo jacks, combined with the 2 TS inputs, which are stereo, giving you 10 inputs. So, there's a few modes you can run the LiveTrak in, from a mixer mode, audio interface mode, and recorder mode, which we'll get into in a while. And the amazing thing about the board is it runs off a 5 watts power consumption. That means essentially you can run this off a USB connection to your computer, to a smartphone or tablet, from a power adapter from the wall, or just use a power adapter to run this. That's pretty amazing, right? Now let's go and unbox this, or really re-unbox it, because I want to show you what it comes with in the box. Let's get to it. So I've reboxed the L8 to unbox it again to show you what's inside. Now keep in mind that in audio interface mode, it records only up to 48 kHz, but in a recorder mode, it records up to 96 kHz. So anyway, let's unbox this. So when you unbox the L8, you'll see that it comes nothing more than just your manuals, your TRRS cables, which are really important for smartphone connection, especially in a podcasting use scenario. We have your power adapter with a USB cable. So your USB cables, which connects to your computer, and a power adapter if you were to use it with a wall socket. Alright, let's take it all aside, and I'm going to pull this up, and there you go, that's your mixer. Let's put this up here. So that's the LiveTrak L8. Now we're going to talk a bit more about what you see on the board, what you get when you buy the L8, including what's behind, the power sources, your SD card, Kensington lock, and where you can put in your batteries here, and of course, the USB inputs here. As a mixer and portable audio recorder, the L8 features 6 preamps with phantom power, each with a maximum input gain of 54 decibels. The gain range was slightly lower compared to some budget audio interfaces like the Focusrite Scarlett at 56 decibels. In my test, the gain was enough for most users, although I felt that the preamps lacked a little bit of warmth. Zoom preamps have always sounded more neutral, transparent to me, so maybe that's something you want. There are 2 more input channels, which are a combo of line level and USB inputs. You can use the onboard EQ, low cut, and effects to fine-tune each of these channels. First, by selecting the channel, then choosing to cut or boost the EQ, or choose effect and you have a selection of effects from reverbs, delay, chorus, and vocal effects. On the mixer mode, you can record up to 10 tracks as multi-track, plus a stereo mix directly into an SD card. Or simply output a master mix into a PA setup in a live performance or event setting. Again, in an audio interface mode, it records only up to 48 kHz, and that might sound like a deal breaker, especially if you are planning to use this mostly as an audio interface. Compared to a lot of other standard audio interfaces in the market, this records only at 48 kHz, right? So we can see that immediately the L8 is more advertised or more made as a digital mixer compared to an audio interface. But from experience, 48 kHz is fine because our human ears can only hear from 20 Hz up to 20 kHz, and that makes 48K sample rate totally fine. Go look up the Nyquist theorem. Now, the L8 also works as an audio interface where your number of inputs and outputs are the same as in a mixer function. Just connect the mixer to your computer, switch it on, click on audio interface, select yes with the jog dial, and hit again to enter. That's it. If you're new to using mixers, you might find that the L8 works a little bit differently from the common 2-in, 2-out audio interface. Because the L8 acts more as a mixer,
you would have to route audio from your computer back into the mixer as inputs, and that's either channel 7 or 8, which are stereo inputs, before they go through the master channel again so that you can hear them on the main mix. By default, in audio interface mode, your computer output is routed back into channel 7, inputs 7 and 8. However, you can select different output settings using your DAW. This can feel a little bit confusing if you're not used to using mixers. Well, generally, you want to act as though your computer takes up a stereo input on the L8. As an example, here I am using Logic Pro, and as you can see, I can freely choose where to route my output audio into, either channel 7 or channel 8. As a podcast mixer and audio interface, the LiveTrak L8 features 6 microphone preamps, 6 sound pads for intros, outros, jingles, ads, and also sound effects. But one of the nicest features yet is the Mix Minus feature, where in the midst of a physical podcast or recording, you could have a caller over the telephone or through an online app as a guest. Here's how it works.
So if you have a caller on your podcast, you would want the TRRS cable like this, where this is the tip, ring, and sleeve. And basically, this cable goes into the phone where your caller is calling in from, and this then goes into channel 8. You want to make sure that you select this so that the audio is inputted from this cable here.
The Mix Minus function avoids sending back the main mix to the caller, so that way we eliminate feedback and also echo. Another neat feature about the L8, whether in podcast or mixer mode, is there are 4 independent mix outputs with independent gains, essentially removing the need for an external headphone preamp. You can create different mixes for each of your guests in a podcast session, monitoring different mixes. For example, each of your guests can have a mix where they only hear the other 3 guests, excluding themselves. It's quite easy to create different mixes. While in mixer mode, simply select the different mixes and then adjust the levels accordingly.
Now, there's a few things about the L8 that you want to take note of.
First, when switching between mixers, I found that I had to reset the faders by pulling them down and pushing it back to the volume I wanted again. The mixer retains the volume of each channel as you switch between mixers, but it somehow forgets the position of the fader. So nothing will happen if you continue to push the faders from where they are. You would have to reset it. Another thing I wish I had when recording on the L8 is the existence of onboard compressors and limiters, especially when recording something with a wide dynamic range like guitars or drums. A limiter will ensure the signal isn't clipped. Well, portable recorders like the Zoom H6 and H8 had onboard digital compressors and limiters. So, it's a little strange that they didn't include it for the L8. Third, if you're planning to use the L8 for live streaming or online video calls, hoping to use a few microphone inputs, take note that most online video call apps like Zoom or Skype only take in one channel. That's right, so you have to choose which channel to send to apps like Zoom or Skype. Alternatively, you could use something like Loopback on a Mac or Voicemeeter on Windows to create virtual inputs for those apps. Lastly, I also found that there was no way to reset the effects, pen ports, and EQs once they have been set. You would have to turn them back to 0, quite annoyingly.
And for now, a quick demonstration of the LiveTrak L8, because at the end of the day, you want to create something with the mixer. So here we have all set up. Now, watch this. I'm going to power the mixer with a power bank. So this is the USB from the L8. I'm going to put it inside. And basically what I'm going to do is turn it on. You can see it's already on here. Now, first of all, for the most part of this video, the voiceover is recorded with a microphone, the Audio-Technica AT2035 that goes into the preamp. Obviously not right now, but the voiceover that you heard throughout this video is recorded via this microphone here and the preamps on the L8. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to record and show you the effects of a guitar when recording with the Zoom L8. So I got my guitar here and I have it lined out from the bottom, and this is going to go into channel 1 on the mixer. And to begin recording on the L8 into an SD card as a portable recorder, all we really have to do is to arm the record tracks. I'm going to arm channel 1, arm the master track as well, hit on record, and all we have to do is click on play, and it'll begin recording. So I'm recording this so you can hear the whole process as we go through the whole recording. Yeah. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually gain my guitars here. So you can see that I already have a bit of gain up here. Push out the faders and the masters as well. And I'm going to put in a bit of effects to my guitar here, so we can use the effects on board. I'm going to click on effects, and you can choose whichever effects that you want that is available on the board. So one of the downsides is there's no compressors on the board, so when you do some heavy strumming, that might be affected. Anyway, I'm going to choose maybe Hall 2, and I'm going to select channel 1, which is my guitar. I'm going to pull on the effects. Alright, I'm going to push up the effects return channel to get some of this effect in. There we go. Right, and right now it's recording, so I'm just going to play something quick so we can hear this on video. And of course, you can also do things like EQ. So while it's selected, I can actually EQ off the lows if I want to, and make it brighter by turning on EQ trebles. And once I'm done, all I really have to do is just click on stop, and the recording will be saved. We will have recordings on the channel 1 and also the master outs on the board. So to begin recording using the L8 as an audio interface into your DAW, we just have to select an input channel. So I'm going to go to my first channel and select input number 3. You can see that we have input 1 up to 12, showing you the inputs that we have on the L8. And the reason why I'm choosing input 3 is because by default, input 3 means channel 1 on the L8. So I'm going to arm my track. And we see we already have signal coming into the channel here. So I'm going to make sure the gains are alright. And all we have to do then is to hit on record and play away. And I hope you find that quick demonstration of using the L8 useful. All in all, the LiveTrak L8 is a nice digital mixer to have, mainly because of how versatile and multifunctional it is. Use it as a standalone digital mixer, audio interface, or bring it around with you as a 10-track portable audio recorder for podcasting and also live streaming. What I felt that can be improved on the device is the addition of compressors and limiters, and also its preamps. The preamps currently sound, to me, a little bit uninspiring and lacking of that depth. But for most users, it should be okay, and I can see fitting into the workflows of many types of creators. This one has definitely won me over with its small form factor, and I'm going to be keeping this as a device that I use in my workflow. So let me know what you think about the LiveTrak L8 in the comment section down below, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts and responses. See you next time.